On August 26, 1920, the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified, allowing women the right to vote, but this victory for women didn't come without a fight. Since the dawn of time, women have been viewed as second-class citizens, thought of as only being able to cook, clean, and take care of the children. But as society entered the age of enlightenment and industrialization, women began to realize that they could be much more than just second-class citizens, thus catalyzing the women's suffrage movement. Beginning at the Seneca Fall Convention of 1848, women with the idea that they had the same rights as men gathered together. Key characters like Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and Lucy Stone band together to form the National American Women's Suffrage Association. This organization took the right for women's suffrage straight to the government, which in 1920 resulted in the addition of the 19th Amendment granting women the right to vote. Now, almost 100 years later, many women all over the world have the ability to vote. But not all women have this privilege. There are instances in the world where women are still treated as second-class citizens and are subjected to acts of violence and prejudice. So we went out and posed people with this question. As we approach the 100-year anniversary of the women's suffrage movement, what do you believe is the most important aspect of women's rights in this country, and what can we do to improve them?
I think the most important aspect of women's rights today is that we continue to empower women in their own lives, in the lives of others.
I think that it has made a huge improvement compared to in the past, of course, in our country and a lot of other countries around the world, because not only does that right to vote, but it also gives right just an equality.
Okay, Roaring 20s, probably the most important thing that happens for women in the 20s as we move forward is gaining the ability to vote.
I would say that the most important aspect of women's rights for me is the ability to have grown up knowing that I really could do anything, and that my gender didn't influence my decisions at all.
My mother was one of the founding members of the NOW organization, the National Organization for Women, and so women's rights are so important to me and have been. I wouldn't be a man in this world for anything.
I do believe that the importance of the women's movement back in the 1920s is that women have more possibilities of studying what they really enjoy and doing what they like, so that they can not only feed themselves, take care of themselves, but especially their children, and be allowed to do what they enjoy doing.
It's given women a voice to say what's going on, yes or no, to give them more rights. Women are more involved in the workforce now because of these rights, so that is a good thing. And
For me as a mom, when I think about improving women's rights and what we can do, I think about what I can do for my daughter.
I think it's for everyone, and I think our biggest issue is that we have to start giving these rights to our teenage girls and our younger girls, so that when they grow up to be strong women.
We're a team, men and women. There are some things he does better, some things I do better, but it's not because of our sex. It's just because of the way things are. We have got to come to a better understanding of that in our world.
But as far as around the world, there's a lot still going on in different countries, in different beliefs and religious patterns, even that make women not equal. Even equal as far as not just equal to man, but just equal period as a human to a human. And I think that's the biggest thing that we are still, this many years later, around the world, still having to fight and struggle with.
As you can see, women have come a long way since the suffrage movement of the 1920s. But even today, there is still a monumental amount of work that needs to be done in order for women to secure the same rights as their male counterparts. So take a stand, fight for the rights of your fellow person. Because at the end of the day, we are all human.